throwing pills tonight?
And then I
Hi,
said,
everybody.
that's not a duck, that's a cow.
Funny.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to NTR. Today we're going to be talking about which came first, belief or experience, but we'll get to that. How is everybody? Let's say hi to the chat really quick first. I see Richard was here, or probably is still here, or again. He'll be back. Elizabeth, Alex, it looks like he will not be back. He promised and then he decided he was tired. That's fine. We'll remember that. There's Millie. That's surprising. There's Christine and Lucia. And Amanda. Oh no, she was in a car accident. Oh dear.
Amanda was?
What a
Yeah.
semi.
A wreck with a semi-truck this evening. I'm still in shock, I bet. Yeesh. Oh my goodness. And she's untouched, except emotionally. Well, that counts.
We love you, man.
Yeah, sending you good stuff, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's everybody so far. How are you guys doing? Victor, sitting in the dark?
I'm doing great.
How was your week?
It was very good. Very good. Nice capstone with the boyo visit. So I can't complain. I wouldn't complain even if I could. There you have it.
And Lucky, how about you?
I've had a very fun week. Adventurous and joyful and interesting and just all these wonderful things that I learned about other people. And learning is half the battle.
It is. It is.
There you go.
How about you, Millie?
I've had a great week. It's been active and keeping me on my toes and alert. So, it's good. I'm experiencing the whole experience.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, I had a good week too. It was my birthday, so that was fun. And so I got old, and now here I am again. So
Well, happy 28th, Trista.
yeah, thanks. Although I look awful for 28, so that's why I figure I'll just be honest about my age. Usually.
Well, you don't look your age.
Oh, there's Chloe. Yeah, that's what I hear, and that's what I feel. So I feel it sometimes, but yay, Chloe. Thanks for coming. All right. So this week we are talking about, here's the first question. I'm just going to dive right in. So, and I've asked this before and we didn't really get into it too much. And I asked it on Facebook and got just very disappointing answers because I don't think people really understood what I was getting at. When you have like a million friends and then you get all of these weird answers. Anyway, so the question is, if we all woke up tomorrow and religion and everything that we know about spirituality was gone from our memory, so personally and collectively we have no sense of religious or spiritual foundation, what would be the spark that might light that flame for you? Like, what do you think would be the thing that would make you go, oh, there's something more here? Who would like to? Think, and whoever wants to jump in first.
Ask it one more time, please.
Oh God.
For clarity, or let me. You want me to recap?
No, it's okay. If we all woke tomorrow with no recollection of our personal and collective spiritual or religious history, what would be the spark that might light that flame for you? Where would you find inspiration that might make you go, oh, there's something more?
Wow. I will go out on a limb and say I would probably be going outside, going out and getting on the grass Or also, the sparks might be my tattoos on my body that would mean nothing to me. Then I'd have to look.
You
I
can't
must-
look it up. There's no record of anything spiritual.
Okay, so my tattoos that are spiritual in nature would be gone.
Either gone or there would be no record of what they mean.
Oh, I got you. Okay, okay. What would be the spark? Eh? Wow, that's a really good question. But then I could postulate too, would it not be just like the very, well, no, because if the knowledge did not exist, I don't honestly think that there could be a way. There may
I
not
have
be a way.
questions. I have questions. Well,
Okay.
one question.
Okay.
Would I still have my abilities?
Yes.
Okay, well, then that's it, because if my abilities seeing ghosts would be there, it would be the first thing where seeing people who aren't there that other people can't see, which would start me on the path to going, what's going on? Am I hallucinating?
Yeah. Now they can't, just as a like foundational rule, like nobody, like whether it's human or spirit, will be able to tell you anything spiritual.
Well,
But you'd still have that
Yeah.
communication with them.
when
Yeah.
you take the spirituality off the table, when you take spirituality off the table, they would still talk to me, which some spirits do talk to me, and then would be like, I'm having a conversation. Am I schizophrenic? No, they're not giving me negative, because schizophrenia usually is negative messages. I'm going to put it that way. So, okay, they're not being negative, so it can't be, well, it may not be, maybe you have different kinds of schizophrenia because they don't have a record of anything. So I'm like, okay, they're talking to me that other people can't see. They're not being mean, or most of them aren't mean. So that would put me on the path to figuring out what's going on within me. Am I going crazy, or is something more to this?
Millie?
So I would say if we had a blank slate all of a sudden, a tabula rasa, perhaps right now, then I would say it wouldn't be a problem, because if it's me and I'm retaining all my memory and I am the spark, then the same way I awoke before, I'll do it again, because I have that connection. I'll be able to make that connection with everything around me again. I might even
How-
remember quicker this time.
And I was going to say, how long? This is my next question. And for me, I think, honestly, I think it's things that make me stop in my tracks and gasp, right? Like literally, like the stars, or, the beauty in nature. I feel like that would probably be part of what would bring it back out. As well as like just interactions with other people, like really meaningful interactions, I think would be something that would bring it forward again for me. But how long do you think it would take?
I don't think it would take as long as it did this time, because I think that everything that happens makes every lifetime, or every experience that you choose to have here, I think it comes back quicker. So I think am I being reborn, or am I just being like memory wiped? Like
Your
now?
memory is wiped, but so is everybody else's. So, I mean, you don't even really know that this is something you're supposed to be looking for. Like it's gone,
But I'm still me, so I'm
but you're
curious by
still
nature.
you. Hmm.
So having not lost that curiosity by nature, and that spark to seek, I think that it would come back a lot quicker than 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 maybe even it did this, although it kind of came back in increments, but I think it would be a lot quicker. That's my point. Leave it at that.
Anyone else, for how long you think it would take you?
I think it would take double the time for me.
I think it would take longer as well, especially without other people around, or without that sense of this is something that is a thing, right? Like that being spiritual and having that kind of connection, and like those sort of like foundations of spirit that we come into this world and they're already here. Like, because even if we don't accept religion, it's still there as a thing where we have that frame of reference. And I feel like not having that frame of reference would make it more difficult for, if not everyone, at least a majority.
Well, if you
Yeah,
didn't
that-
even know to miss it, how would we know you're supposed to worship something?
Exactly.
You wouldn't.
So if you don't, right, but I'm not talking about worship necessarily, but spirit in general. So worship, yes, but also just believing in energy or knowing we can heal each other. We wouldn't have any of that. So go ahead, Lucky.
Could you imagine the churches, the priests will walk into, like the Catholic priest, walk into a church and there's a man being tortured on a cross. He has no reference to what that means. He's like, I'm in a crazy place. Why is there a statue of a man being tortured on a cross?
That's interesting. I thought when I was thinking of it, I was like, that's just all gone, right? We don't really have that to look at, but that's an interesting take too. And that's funny because my nephew, because my sister didn't like take the kids to church regularly, right? But then when they went one day and my nephew looks up and he's like, who's that guy? Who did that to him?
Well, that's the thing is the church. If everything disappeared, then the churches would disappear. The religious. I mean, I don't know how much you can take away without taking away society. Oh, boy.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Because churches are a cornerstone of a lot of neighborhoods.
Yeah. It's just baked right in
Just
to everything. Yeah.
I mean, for the longest time, actually, in my own city, there's a French Catholic church and an Irish Catholic church across the street from each other, and they sold the French Catholic church, French Catholic, and they end up rebuying it back for like pennies because no one wanted it, and the Irish Catholic church is holding mass there in French because the Catholic priest speaks both. Bizarre, but they wanted to close one of them because they're across the street from each other. Why waste it? But the parishioners said no. So but that's the thing. Once you take away the religion, the buildings are still there. Oh boy, I don't know. That would be, for me, that would be crazy.
And we'd have all these conspiracy theories on the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Waking up and because me personally, I have crucifix around my house because they're family heirlooms and they're there. But if I saw them, I'm like, why do I have a man being being tortured? What is this?
Mm-hmm.
It is a weird decorative piece, isn't it?
Well,
Karen makes the point. This is a really good one. Death. People start dying, or people we know start dying. So then we all start questioning where they go. That's a really good one. And birth, for that matter. Sorry, did I interrupt somebody though?
Oh, jeez. The
Yeah, I
church
was
should
just
put it in
gonna-
hospitals because there's crucifix all over the hospitals, too. I forgot about that. Oh, boy.
Well, some hospitals.
well, I was going to say,
That's where you go to get crucified, right? That would be the assumption. And
Yeah.
apparently crucifixion would be something very desirable. Well, think about it. Think about how it could get turned around, twisted.
True.
I mean, it kind of is.
I started us on this weird path. I'm sorry.
So that's okay. So let's see here.
we encourage that.
I'm going to skip that because that seems obvious. Is spirituality something that we create, or do you think it's something we discover? Kind of a little bit of both.
Maybe it is simply internal. It's an
Which would
innate
be that we
ability.
discover it. Yeah. How much of our daily experience do you feel, or how much of your daily experience, I should say,
Ooh.
that you feel is filtered through what you already believe?
Karen brings up a good point. We wouldn't actually see the crucifix because there would be no religion left or
yes.
evidence of.
Yeah.
Yes, see, that's what I was trying to say before. Yes.
And going to St. Mary's Hospital would mean nothing to you. It just whatever a saint is and a lady named Mary.
I was born at a St. Mary's Hospital.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, and your question, Trista, again was
With how much of our daily experience is filtered through what we already believe?
oh, I would say 110% for me.
Yeah.
Mine is
Yeah,
all
same.
filtered through it.
Because that's the problem, because we tend to see what we want to see and disregard the rest. It's just how being human is. And I just always see stuff, and other people with the same thing, the same situation. I see one thing, and other people see the totally different thing. And to me, it's like, why don't you see the truth? But sometimes the truth is elusive. So yeah, most of what I do in the day is just because I also have constant chatter in my head. My wife does not, which drives me crazy, thinking that she's got no voice in her head. Well, me, I'm having constant conversations and sometimes debates while walking around doing nothing.
Well, clearly you're not doing anything. You're busy.
Well, I was gardening and having a whole different. I had a whole conversation in my head while gardening, which was not involved with gardening whatsoever. And I thought to myself, wait, I just had a whole conversation and just resolved something, but in my own head, this is craziness. But I'm okay. But it got resolved, so it's okay.
You see? That's therapeutic.
Oh yeah.
So, do you, or if you believe that people are generally kind, do you encounter more kindness? And if you believe that the world is dangerous, do you notice more danger?
I'm gonna say yes, because like attracts like, as far as I'm concerned. Like attracts like. And if you put out love, you put out kindness, you're gonna get it in return. And then you'll have those people that, I've said this story many times. You're at the store and people will beeline away from you because they don't want to be around your light because it's too revealing to them.
Yeah. Okay, so how about collective religious experiences? So, like, if we think about which comes first, belief or experience. So, if we have a certain set of beliefs and then have experiences, and we're filtering that through those beliefs, then it's going to come out colored in a certain way. So, for instance, like, are you guys familiar with the events at Lourdes and Fatima?
A little bit.
Yeah, but can you recap, please?
Yes, okay.
For the audience.
Yes, that's okay. And I had to too. Because I thought it was the same event, and it's like not at all. So in Lourdes, France, in 1858, a 14-year-old peasant girl named Bernadette, she reported 18 apparitions of a lady in white in a cave, and the lady revealed herself to be the Immaculate Conception and directed Bernadette to dig in the dirt, uncovering a natural spring. The waters are believed to have miraculous healing powers, making Lourdes one of the world's most famous pilgrimage sites. So that was in 1858. And then in 1917 at Fatima in Portugal, 3 young shepherds, Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta, the Virgin Mary appeared to the children on the 13th of each month from May to October, urging prayer, specifically the Rosary, for world peace amid World War I. The events culminated in the Miracle of the Sun, which was October 13th, 1917, where an estimated 70,000 witnesses saw the sun appear to spin, dance, and plunge toward the earth. Mary also imparted 3 famous secrets of Fatima regarding visions of hell, World War I and II, and the persecution of the church. So I also looked into like the healings from the water at Lourdes, and so statistically confirmed medical healings are extremely rare, of course. Out of roughly 200 million visitors since 1858, over 7,000 healings have been reported, but only 72 have been officially recognized as scientifically inexplicable miracles by the Catholic Church's medical board. That puts the official miracle rate at like roughly nothing. 0.00036%. Though many pilgrims report experiencing spiritual or emotional healing rather than a physical one. So, I mean, 70,000 people saw the sun spin around and like head towards the earth. So that's pretty incredible. And it's stuff like that that makes me go, okay, like, so.
What year was that again? I'm sorry, 1917?
Yes. Oh, wait. So, yeah, for the sun one, yes. Fatima's 1917 and Lourdes with the spring water was 1858.
We already had movies at that time, right?
Silent films were starting.
Barely, yeah.
But then consider this too. If you want to take this in a different direction, maybe it was the lamp that hangs over our disc malfunctioning and that jumping all over the place.
And
Hard to say.
coincidentally
Convenient timing.
was
Yeah.
with the same time as it happened on the 13th of a month when she was showing up. Or it was a psyop from the beginning, or it truly is a miracle.
So, like, let's say if like half of these 70,000 people weren't Christian, what if they were some other religion? Would have they experienced that differently? If we're suspending the idea that, you know, it's a psyop. You know, if we're,
I think
Yeah, go ahead.
regardless of the religion, they would have a religious experience.
right,
Regardless
but
of their
would they see
deity.
it differently? So, exactly. So if the, because that was my question, like, because Bernadette, like the way it outlined it for me, that the lady revealed herself as the Immaculate Conception. Well, what did Bernadette believe? She was like a Roman Catholic. She already believes in Mary, and she already believes in the Immaculate Conception. So if it was someone who didn't believe in Christianity who had this experience, then I'd be going, oh, that's weird. But when it's already your basis, then it's a little bit different, right? Like, it's not like she's seeing Ganesh, which would be, you know, out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
But I don't think most big religious events that happen, it is typically in line with the follower's faith. But perhaps if it was a Muslim standing there, they would have a different experience. It would retain the same message, but it could be seen and perceived
Yeah.
a different way.
Yeah, that's exactly what I believe. I
'Cause
think that,
the-
and that's where we filter it through our own belief system.
The thing about Mary, though, you got Lakshmi, Lady Lakshmi, mother from India, and then you have China, Kuan Yin. It doesn't matter. The mother figure is in multiple places across the world. The mother,
Yeah.
sacred mother. So I could see that being repeatable no matter what your mindset is. The stories and I know no religion,
But-
I understand, but still, the mother.
Repeatable, yes, but those people are going to see it differently. So if two people are standing there and one is Buddhist and one is Christian, the Christian's going to see Mary, the Buddhist is going to see Kuan Yin.
Right, but the energy of those
But-
mother figures are very
It
similar.
is, yeah, absolutely.
So-
And
so-
I would even maybe say that in some of those instances, that energy is legit. There,
Right.
you know, there's like divine feminine is there and speaking to us, and we're seeing it in these different ways because of what we're taught that we're supposed to be seeing, and what's, you know, real.
I mean, I think the Immaculate Conception is specifically Catholic, but the
Nope.
mother,
It's not. It's not though.
what?
I believe Krishna was also. I'm sure there's other religions that have immaculate
But
conception.
still, it's oh boy, maybe. Oh yeah, it was Egypt. No, but Egypt. Yes, because yes, Horus. Horus was supposed to be immaculate because Osiris was dead and not completely. His parts were replaced with wood. But so yeah, I guess. Oh, actually no. Also, Dionysus. You're right. It does repeat. I stand corrected. Yes. So the Sacred Mother,
Yeah, okay.
conceptions repeats. Yes, you're right.
So Christianity, there's Mary. In Hinduism, there's Krishna and his mother. In Buddhism, Siddhartha Gautama is traditionally said to have been conceived after his mother dreamed of a white elephant entering her side. That is considered a miraculous conception, though not a virgin birth in the Christian sense. Ancient Egypt, Horus, yes, and then in Greek mythology, many heroes and gods have supernatural births. For example, Perseus was conceived when Zeus visited his mother in the form of a shower of gold. But yeah,
That's
yeah.
Zeus.
So there's a
That's
few.
nasty Zeus.
Yeah, well, he's something else.
Swans, cows. Cows? Did he do?
Bulls, yeah, he was a bull. I think you had to be a bull more than a cow to, I mean, well. who knows?
You make a point.
He's magical.
That's a whole different. That was Loki turned into a horse, I think, female horse. That's another thing entirely. Wow. I took a. It is interesting thought. Yeah, definitely.
So, 1 second. Can one undeniable experience completely dismantle a lifetime of beliefs?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
have
was
you
there.
ever had an experience that forced you to change your worldview?
I think this whole journey, right, has caused me to look at the world during a different lens.
For sure, but what about one, like just like a where it was like a dramatic kind of sudden thing? And it doesn't have to even necessarily be your spiritual journey. It could be something else too. Like a
Yeah.
worldview could be a lot of different things.
Oh, just getting sick and what's important to me. What
That's
really,
huge,
at
yeah.
the end of the day, if you're left with nothing, what would be the something that you would value?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's two distinct. One's spiritual and the other one's pseudo-spiritual. It would be the first time feeling energy. Very first time feeling that was huge.
Yeah.
And then the second time, of course, my UFO sighting in 2017. And then the third, I have three, is that vision I had about Truth Wave.
Yeah.
That-
Lucky, how about you?
Well, my problem is I started life seeing things that weren't there, and then it was taken away from me or convinced to make myself stop it. And then in college, which I was still playing with it around, I was still seeing them, but it was always more ethereal, weird, just not physical beings, just kind of like shadow beings. When in college, I saw a full entity who had recently committed suicide and was in front of me, and I was talking to them, and who are you talking to? And I said who it was, and they said, he committed suicide like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, no, he's right. And he was gone. And that's when it like came back hard, where I'm like, oh no. And that's when I remembered everything that I had given up, because it was shunned. Me doing that, I still did it every once in a while. I mean, the graveyard was fun, but again, it was still kind of, the sounds and the spirits were kind of smoky. This was a full entity being who had died 2 weeks before, which I've always been told that, it takes months for them to come back. And he was sitting in front of me talking to me. I don't remember what he said. It was something just, his roommate was absolutely crazy, because his roommate found him. Oh no, he didn't have a suicide. He overdosed on drugs. It doesn't matter what happened to him. He had never done them before, and he tried some, and his roommate took blame for it. He blamed himself for it. That kid went nuts. And that's when he told me to try to talk to him, because it's not his fault that he chose to take the drugs. Just because his roommate got it for him, he chose to take him, and it was his responsibility. But that kid, nothing. That kid was trashed all the time. He didn't do drugs, but he did alcohol to a point where he was, I think he got kicked out of school. His first year, he was given a free ride, and then after that, after the first year, they just couldn't keep him around anymore. He was just too much trouble. Wow, I forgot about that story.
I remember you telling that story that the guy had a message for his roommate, but I thought it was because it was something he was looking for. But now that you say it, I'm like, oh, that's what it was. I knew it was something important.
It was because it was the drugs that were still in the room, and he didn't know where they were. And if they got searched, they would find him eventually.
Okay.
But again, he was out of it. He wasn't going to do the drugs, but could you imagine them doing a search for his room and finding these hidden drugs? Because it was hidden somewhere in a place you couldn't normally get to, but eventually someone would find it because it was a loose board somewhere. Oh boy, that story. Ooh.
And that's
Forgot
how
about
you knew
that.
that you weren't talking garbage, that you really saw him, though, because you told him exactly what he said and where it was. Like, that's what I remember from the story. I didn't remember the other part, which is impressionable enough. I mean, my God.
Yeah, he was a full entity. Yeah. He was there talking to me, telling me this stuff, and that's when I turned and who are you talking to? I'm talking to this kid, and he's gone. And that's when I found his roommate and gave him the whole story. Yeah, I don't remember the whole, because that's still a little bit shaking just thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, people thought I actually I left school after that. I went to another school after that because that story got around, and I was seen as a witch, but not a witch. Some people thought it was fascinating. Most people were afraid of me. Bye, Vinny. Most people were really afraid of me because they thought I could create things. They thought I was psychic and I knew where the drugs were. I just made up the kid, but I'm like, no, he talked to me. Yeah. Oh boy, that story.
So here's a dumb question. Is personal experience more trustworthy than what we've been taught?
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, 100%.
Do you think two people can ever truly experience the same event? Or experience it the same way, I guess I should say. Because of course we're experiencing the same event, but with our own personal filters.
Hey,
and I use this, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. Yeah, you go first and then I'll wrap up what I think.
The cops do it. That's what the cops do. If there's a scene, well, like Amanda was in an accident tonight. So there's some cops that showed up, or state troopers or someone. They took her statement, took everyone's statements that viewed it. And the thing is if there's 4 or 5 people, like all 4 of us, if a UFO was to fly over us right now, and then we turn around privately and gave 4 different accounts, then it's going to be slightly different. Mm-hmm. It's like, yes, we all saw a UFO. That's the primary thing. The primary thing will probably be the same. The detail on that craft will probably be slightly different. And there's even a chance that it's heavily different. Mm-hmm. Just depending on our point of view.
Eyewitness testimony is the least reliable form of evidence that there is, or among the least. Everyone thinks that it's like the be-all, end-all. Oh, well, were there witnesses? Well, sometimes things paint a better picture than that, or a more reliable one. What I was going to say, hang on here.
Oh, wow, Amanda.
So it's like, sorry?
Amanda's statement that her son and she saw a UFO.
So, it's something like what I'll say to people, when people will be like, okay, well, I had that happen to me and I didn't have that reaction. Well, that's nice, but you're you and you have your own experiences and, life that got you to where you are. And maybe that person didn't have that, or had, that different kind of experience that made them process this in maybe an unhealthy way, or in whatever different way than another person who had the exact same experience. And they even studied twins in that kind of light as well, and how even twins will have just totally different outcomes from the same set of experiences, which I think is really interesting.
I have a story of having the exact same experience as somebody else. But that was, I was teaching someone to meditate because they were having apparitions in their house that was moving stuff around. And I didn't know if it was negative or positive, it didn't matter to me. But the only way I figured is like, okay, I'm going to empower this person. And they believed they trusted me. So I got them in the middle of the house, white sheet, candle in the middle, teaching them to meditate. And they were similar to Victor with expanding that energy ball. I had him and his wife were there together because he was more powerful than she was, but I had the two of them expanding the energy ball from the candle out, using positive light out, filled the room, and then it filled us because we were in the room, basically it was in front of us, then us, then the room, then the second floor, then the first, and it expanded out, and then once they got to a certain size, it was this huge bang, like a dynamite went off. Bang. We all heard it. They both opened their eyes and said, everything's fine. It's part of the process. Fill it with light, expand out, the whole house, and then their yard and everything. So we pushed an entity out. And the entity wanted to shake us up to stop us. So after the fact, when everything was done, clean the house, energetically afterwards, I asked individually because they were it was a little bit shocking, so they separated, and I talked to them individually. We all heard the same thing, the same sound. It sounded like dynamite exploding, basically in the on the first floor, because we were on the second floor. It was a third floor, second. It was a big old house, but we all heard the exact same thing. And it might have been because we were all in the same energy bubble. We were all using the same energy bubble. I don't know, because it was the only time in all my experience we experienced the exact same thing. Sound. It was just amazing. Normally you get little aspects, perspectives, a little bit different. That was the only time it was basically just, it was like we all said the same thing. It sounded like dynamite exploded on the first floor. There was nothing. Also, nothing was knocked down. The house was perfect. We searched the whole house to figure out what the sound came from, and it was amazing. But it was the only time. Usually it's just a little different each person, but that was the one time when everyone said the exact same thing, and it was weird. So yes, I agree it can happen, but it is extremely rare.
I like your mug, Millie. Does it have more bees? What's the other side look like? Oh, cute. Oh, I like your lipstick on there too. I was like, what's that? Sorry, Lucky.
I was done. Nothing to be sorry about.
Okay.
That's pretty wild.
So, does reality exist independently of our interpretation, or is interpretation part of the reality? Kind of getting back into sciencey quantum physics stuff with that one, almost.
So that's the whole tree falling in the forest question.
Mm-hmm. Well, kind of, but this is kind of like how much of what we experience is woven into the reality of that experience. Like, is it existing outside of us, or are we automatically integrated into reality, right? Which of course we are.
That's tough.
So we're
though.
affecting it. Because if you look at the double slit experiment, P.S. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's this new podcast. Well, it's not new, but it's new to me. And I was watching. It's a geography thing, but they were talking about. Oh crap! Now I'm losing it.
Think about crap. That's disgusting.
I actually recorded it too with my phone because it didn't allow me to do a clip. But he talked about the double split experiment and about how if you think about light coming to us from a distant star, like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to do this justice. I'll figure it out and I'll like post it on my page or in Discord or something, or I'll post that clip. That's what I'll do. Never mind, because otherwise I'll butcher the concept. So anyway, so how about kids? Because kids are kids naturally spiritual before adults teach them what to believe? Why do young children report imaginary friends and past life memories, or seeing things that adults don't? You know, they don't have, or they do have a little bit of that influence from the rest of the world, but not nearly as heavily as we do. I do believe that they're still connected in a way that maybe we don't always retain, especially depending on how we're raised. But, you know, they seem to have that natural gift, for lack of a better word. Thoughts?
I think a lot of their gifts are trained out of them. A lot of their sensitivities are. I guess think about once you get to about 5 or 6, 7, 8, you start going to school. And school is very regimented. You start here, stop here, and then you're taught how to think, in a sense. How to think. And I think a lot of our innate thinking gets pushed aside or pushed away. And then some kids just don't learn the same way other kids do.
Yeah.
And I think the educators are, if you want, educators for the most part in elementary are still educating. But I think at that level, I think it would be better. Well, I've got a whole plan for this, by the way. Kids should start school at 12. They should be raised by their parents, and then start school at 12. We'd have a much better society.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. I
okay.
agree.
So, but what is school? What does education do? It just trains us to think a certain way. What do you think a business degree from a college does? That teaches you how to think, so you fold right into corporate America. A nice group think.
Yeah, yeah. But related to the fact that kids have this innate ability, right? Like, so before we, you know,
I agree with you on that.
before we, you know, teach it out of them or whatever, like they seem to have that contact, that like with things that you know, why would they know that? Like, where would that come from other than inside? If they don't have anyone that is influencing them that way, then, you know, where would that come from? So I think that's a really, yeah.
Take Karen's
Imagination
statement
is
before.
celebrated.
Sorry, you both.
No, saying
That
take
it's pretty
Karen's statement from before, where Karen was saying that at 5 years old, she was telling her dad that she was digging bones on the moon. Like,
Oh, I missed that. I didn't see that.
yeah, she said that before. It's like that, you know, that's wild. My youngest told me that she saw us at Dunkin' Donuts, and that's how she picked us out. I was like, what? And she was like
Oh, wow.
really little, really young, because my oldest would be like, hey, if we ask before she's like 3 or 4 or whatever, she'll still remember. And I was like, all right, let's ask her. And one day she's like, yeah, we were watching you guys. And how does she even know Dunkin' Donuts and everything? And it's funny because
Interesting.
we noticed that later on, like she would know the things, the signs for Dunkin' Donuts. She was so little. And I didn't even go to these places. I go now more because of them. I did, you know, I would go like, even on road trips, we would stop at the Waffles House before we would stop at a Dunkin' Donuts, you know? So.
Do you think that's when her soul entered your body? Were you like maybe at a Dunkin' Donuts somewhere?
No, obviously it was when she was born, but I think it's
Well,
pretty wild.
it depends. There's different.
She scoped us out.
According to Dolores Cannon, souls enter at different times, sometimes even after birth.
Well, maybe, but that doesn't mean I
So-
believe what Cannon says.
True. But I mean, the idea is out there that, you know, could be kind of whenever, right? Whenever. So she
Yeah,
might have,
right,
like when you said it, the
walking.
way you worded it, I kind of pictured her
Yeah.
being like okay, so this is when I'm entering, so yeah, okay, I'll go with this person here, and that's when she saw you, kind of thing.
Maybe, but I don't know. It was just, and it was and I think my oldest might actually have it on her. What did they have? It wasn't a phone. What did they have? The iPods? Maybe, I don't know. iPods? What, something they could record, something that they could just text with.
Oh, I don't know.
I forget what device she had. She might
The
have gotten
iPods
one
with
too.
like the music thing. It wasn't a phone. It was a music
Yeah,
thing.
not the little square ones though. Like there was something a little bit bigger that you could just use to text the kids. I don't know what it was. And it played music.
Well, the little skate one was a shuffle, I believe. Actually, I never
No.
owned any iPhone stuff, but I
I
believe
had a
the
shuffle. I
iPad
didn't
was.
use it. Yeah. That
Shuffle
was
was
a
a tiny
little.
one.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had that.
but the i. Oh no, the iPad is no.
I don't know what it
I
was.
don't know what any of them are. I'm sorry. I've forgotten already.
Me either. Yeah, but it was pretty
iPod.
cool to hear her say
Oh,
that.
iPod. iPod is the little thing, and then iPad is the tablet. Oh God,
Yeah.
it's so confusing.
So then when do belief systems start replacing or not, maybe not replacing, but when does it start overriding our direct experience? Because I think there are a lot of people who are good at that sort of discernment, but there's a lot that aren't, where, this is the way they've been raised perhaps, and that's all there is to it. So, like, let's say everything, if it's someone who is raised Christian, then everything is through that lens. So when is that, like, do we define that as, how do I say this gently? Like how much is belief and how much is reality when we are filtering it all through what we've been told to believe?
I think that's it right there. It's like so much of it is because of what you've been told to believe. That's why when you get rid of programming, then
Mhm.
you're able to see other truths, whatever's true to you at that point, which your truth today may be different tomorrow. So
Mhm.
it's really just shaped on what you're thinking or what your perspective is at any one given moment.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I think you have to have the ability to challenge yourself to be open to being incorrect and not being so solid in this is what I believe and what I see right now. It's got to fit in my beliefs. Some of us can be and go, this is new. Let me not use my own personal perspective and try to learn something new rather than going, this is wrong. It must be something else. I think some of us can sometimes, because it's hard to take your own perspective and throw it away, or at least lock it away and see something as unique. And even though it challenges your beliefs, I try to challenge my beliefs on a daily basis. But again, that's how I know to grow. But without challenging my beliefs, I'd be stuck. I don't know what I would be without that.
Yeah, you're open. That's excellent. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Yep, that's wonderful.
Well, I challenge myself because people drive me crazy. Like, why do they do this? Why are these people so stupid? Then I go, wait, maybe they're not stupid. Maybe it's just their perspective, and I have to be open and try to see things from their point of view. And it is challenging. It's easy just to call everyone stupid and go, what's wrong with these people? And going, wait, maybe it's my perspective. Maybe I have my knowledge and I'm applying my knowledge to what they're experiencing, and that they don't need that. They need their own experience, and I have to be open to them. And I don't have to challenge I don't have to take my experiences off the table, but I can be open to see what are they experiencing so that I can understand their point of view. It's
That's
tough.
beautiful.
It's tough because sometimes as people I'm supposed to respect, I'm like, why are they doing it this way? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, fine. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't mean it might make sense to them, and I have to be open to that. But it's hard. It is hard to do that because it's just easier to go, that's wrong. What's wrong with them? We move on.
See, I just have to say, I don't find it too difficult personally. Like, I just don't, and I mean, it depends. Of course, it depends on the situation. I'm not going to say that I'm perfect at it, but I think that a lot of times for me, I find solace in going, that's their journey, so it doesn't matter to me. And just let it go. And I find that easier than trying to figure it all out. I mean, sometimes I want to figure it all out, but it can be frustrating. Victor, your thoughts?
I'm sorry, I spaced the question one more time. I completely spaced the question. It was like 10 minutes ago.
Question. At what point do belief systems begin replacing direct experience was the original thought.
Belief systems, well, I'll tell you what, it's like being in a relationship with someone. It's not so much what they say as it is their actions. Actions speak louder than words. So I would say beliefs, I think anytime when it comes to beliefs is the gained experience is going to speak far, far louder than any written word or any preacher you've listened to or something like that. So, and that's probably all I have really to say about that, actually, oddly enough.
I think it depends, because I think for some people that's not the case. I think for many, and I think that's the way, like the kind of better way to be, but or maybe better is a judgment call. But as far as like I agree where I would rather, or I think I'm more open to my experiences shaping my beliefs, but I think that a lot of people, probably a majority on the planet, are just dead on stuck on exactly what they've been raised with, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah, because that's the lazy way.
Yeah,
That's the comfortable way.
Yeah.
It's not going to break any paradigms. It's not going to make you feel like you're completely out of control. It's not. In other words, and see, this circles all the way around to you give what you get too. Because if you just go there, hey, I was a good Catholic at one time, as many of all of our entire panel probably was at one time, and the thing is then something happened, and I skewed away from it. Then it was not serving me, and that's like anything spiritual, including organized religion. You can come in and opera glass it and get what you need, and then go to the next, and go to the next, and go to the next. But the various churches out there don't want you to go to the next. They want you to stay right where they are. And organized religion could be that very first step. I think it's the first step for a lot of people. It's not the pinnacle as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So, hang on here. Do you believe our memories are objective recordings or stories that we continually rewrite?
I know I rewrite my stories all the time. I have to, because I've had negative experiences in my past, and I turn it around. That's what I learned in order to stop the pain to come, because the pain is pain. When the pain comes back, I can't change it. Well, maybe I can, and I rewrite the story and turn it into something that is, I can't make it perfect, but I can make it more positive and lessen the blow. It's less painful.
Yeah.
It's still there. It's just modified a bit. Yes, I do rewrite my history. I know that. But again, I can still remember the negative thing, but then I go, no, we rewrote that, remember? And I can rewrite that and re-remember the better scenario that didn't exist, but again, it exists in my mind a little better.
I think consciously rewriting things like that is very therapeutic, but I think that a lot of people will do it not consciously, right? And that's why eyewitness testimony sucks, because people don't realize that they're doing it. They don't realize that every little thing, if they hear something about, let's say they witness something, then they hear something about it on the news, then, a detail from there is going to go in their brain and stick there. Like, I know I have memories from when I was a kid that I'm like, do I remember that, or do I only remember that because I was told that story so often? I don't know. I have no idea. I have a really clear picture, but I don't know if it's mine.
I remember in 1977 where I saw on the news that Elvis had died because I was a kid. I woke up early to watch the news because I was a weird kid. And Elvis, so I woke my mother up to tell her that Elvis is dead. My mother loved Elvis. She had like
Oh no.
she had like pamphlets, whatever the concert books. And I don't know what kind of crazy kid I was, but I woke my mother to tell her that Elvis had passed away, and I knew because I knew she loved Elvis. I don't know why I woke her up to tell her that Elvis has passed away, but
What a terrible way to wake up.
but I remember that memory, and I didn't have to wake my mother. I don't know why, but I remember that's one of the painful memories. Like, why did I do that? That is not my place to wake my mother up to tell her that her favorite musician is
Well,
dead.
how old were you? Like 5?
No, I was 8.
Okay, well, still.
Which means I was in 2nd grade.
Wow, it's funny that you reference Elvis because that's one of the first major deaths that I remember watching on TV with my mom. It's like, oh, Elvis is dead. Who's Elvis? You know, like, oh, okay, Elvis is dead. You know what I mean? But it was national news, and I remember my mom was like, you know, it was a big deal. And then later on, like as you get older, you start to realize that, right? When you heard that Princess Di had died, and I don't know, other important people that died, you know, whatever, Michael Jackson, like, you know, and there's coverage on it. So I'm assuming it was very much like that as a little kid, so it was very impressionable.
I remember the Lady Diana thing because we heard that she was in a car accident. My friend and I were driving to, I think, New Jersey to go to a Swedish festival. We're weirdos. And we're driving and heard she got into a car accident. And we're in a bar drinking, and I see that it's still, I'm like, she got into a car accident in France. Big deal. It's like she's dead or something. My friend says, wait a second. He walked over to the TV, talked to the bartender. He came back. She goes, yeah, she's dead. She passed away in that car accident. And I was like, oh no. Because I thought it was just a fender bender. I didn't think it was a big deal. I never knew. And then she comes to me and like, yeah, she's dead now. And I'm like, oh, I felt terrible.
Oh,
Wow.
Natalie Wood, yeah.
One of my friends,
Yeah.
my friend who told my roommate and I that Princess Di had died, I don't remember how he had worded it, but he came in, he just said it, he blurted it out, he like walked into our apartment like Kramer, like he always did, because we didn't lock our door because we shared a house, and he like yelled it like Princess Diana's dead or something like that, and both of us sat there and just stared at him and waited, and all of 3 of us were just quiet, and I'm like, what's the punchline? And he's like, no, there's no punchline. I literally, both of us thought he was joking.
Uh-huh.
It just sounded like the perfect setup for a joke. But anyway. Hey, we didn't get to go home after the Challenger. We had to sit through class for the rest of the day.
I was home already. I was homesick.
Oh, the Challenger. I remember that. I was in gym, and the teacher had no idea what was going on. He says, yeah, kids, some spaceship exploded. And I thought we were being invaded. I thought the government was fighting aliens. I had no idea what so
It's foreshadowing.
a spaceship was attacking Earth and I thought for sure, I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy. Because I'm in high school, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So we leave gym to go to current affairs class. I said, teacher, are we being invaded? Did the government destroy a spaceship? He goes, no, the Challenger, the space shuttle Challenger exploded. And I'm like, oh, that makes more sense. But I was convinced that we were being invaded and the government was fighting the aliens.
We all watched, yeah, we had, every classroom had a TV rolled in, and
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I
Wow.
was homesick.
Now look at Amanda's comment.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Well, I remember us all sitting there in shock, and all of
Um,
us cried, maybe not bawling, but
The next one that's supposed to happen is supposed to be Project Bluebeam coming up next. It's supposed to be the big alien invasion that's fake.
Oh, I can't wait. Wonder what kind of look like. What that guy looks like.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see which ones they use. Oh, thank you for a great topic tonight, Trista.
Yeah, that was great.
I didn't even finish. Let me just see if there's anything super, super interesting that I missed. What's one belief you let go of because of an experience? And what's one experience you almost ignored because it didn't fit your beliefs? If you have one. I don't know if I have an answer to this.
No.
No. Victor's like, we're 2 minutes late. Let's get on with this.
It's just late.
It's okay, Lucky.
I think adults are infallible. Once I realized that adults don't know everything, it kind of shattered my whole reality. Especially when I knew more than the adults, and I'm like, what's going on? When that happened, when I was probably early teens, which that's the time when you realize adults are idiots. Because you're obnoxious, obnoxious teen. That's what happened, but that shattered my reality when I became an obnoxious teenager. And I still
Probably a lot of
now.
realities were shattered. Alrighty. Well, thank you, everybody. And thank you, Millie and Lucky and Victor and everyone in the chat. And we shall see you next week. And Victor, are you next week, I think, right?
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you,
Love you guys.
Trista. Thank you, Lucky. Thank you, Millie. Thank you all.
Good night.
Namaste.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.